Court scenes are very disturbing at times. At the same time, it is fulfilling when convicts are punished. Here, see how some convicts react to life sentences. Number 1. David Moses. A 17-year-old boy murdered an older woman. Because he is a minor, he is unlikely to receive a life sentence. That was our conclusion. However, a Kern County Deputy District Attorney claims that this is not the case. David Moses was one of 3 people charged in the death of Dorothy Session, 81, in 2010. Moses was 20 years old when he was found guilty and sentenced to 25 years in prison without any chance of parole in 2012. It was during a burglary he killed this 81-year-old woman. Later in 2020, he was resentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. The victim's family stated the deep effect her death has had during the hearing. Moses has done nothing to rehabilitate himself since his conviction, according to Judge Charles R. Bremer. Terrell Wakeman, Moses' public defender, told the court about Moses' difficult home life while claiming a sentence of 25 years to life. He grew up without his dad and was raised by his mother until the age of 12, when he became an inhabitant of the court and was moved from home. The victim had a broken nose, missing teeth, and cuts to her face and mouth. The word brutal is not enough to describe this crime. During the whole trial, Moses was really unaware. We guess he could have been asleep since he was yawning most of the time. Maybe he does not realize how deep his activities were. Number 2. Dylan Schumacher. This is a young kid named Dylan Schumacher, attempting in a courtroom in Buffalo, New York. He is currently awaiting sentencing after being convicted of a crime of second-degree murder at the age of 16. Can you believe that? When Schumacher's girlfriend left for work that evening, he was babysitting her child. He was in his Springville home, which he shared with his parents. Afterward, Schumacher beat the 23-month-old child, who died as a result of his injuries. Dylan Schumacher was later apprehended and charged with the toddler's murder as well as child abuse. This is heartbreaking. Schumacher's attorney attempted to claim that he was intending to calm the sobbing infant and had no intention of harming or killing the child. How insane is that? Anyways, the jury did not believe him and Schumacher was found guilty of second-degree murder. As we can see, Schumacher sheds tears and apologizes to everyone before he has a chance to set things up behind the witness box in the courtroom. Schumacher made a phone call to his mother while awaiting his trial, and the conversation was recorded. Schumacher was later sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 25 years, but that punishment was later reduced to 18 years to life. Number 3. John Freeman. Next, in this clip, we can see John Freeman getting a life sentence for killing a 5-year-old child at his great-grandparents' place in Niagara Falls. He was just 16 at the time of the crime. While he was brought for his trial, the victim's father can be seen calling him a disgusting animal. Freeman allegedly admitted to killing the victim Isabella by choking her to death because she wouldn't go to sleep. He admits that there was an additional defendant named Murphy engaged in the crime, and Freeman threatened to force him to stuff the girl's body into a waste bag and drop her off in the trash can. As courteous as he possibly could, he seemed cool, calm, and collected throughout his sentence. He even gave the chilling details of the bare-handed murder of a helpless 5-year-old. This behavior would be viewed as strange, but a medical examiner discovered that he was born with a condition called fetal alcohol spectrum, which impaired his decision-making abilities, but not to the point where a mental health defense would have been successful. Number 4. Roxana Sikorsky. Roxana Sikorsky, 4'8", 95-pound weighing defendant, is just absent-mindedly sitting in this courtroom, handcuffed. She is not even ready to look at her mother. She had been arrested because she and her boyfriend were planning a murder. The people she intended to kill will probably surprise you: her mother and the rest of her family. Perhaps it is why she was unable to look her mother in the eye. Maybe that's why she could not make eye contact with her mother. They planned the murder to occur in their Plymouth Township home in October 2014. But why did a 15-year-old girl think like that? This is the age when we were thinking of our higher education choices. Roxana is going to visit the jail for 10 to 20 years. On a Monday, we can see Roxana is sitting in the middle of a Wayne County courtroom, trembling out of anxiety. Maybe this young girl has been played by her adult boyfriend, who has also been punished. Roxana sneaked a fish fillet knife into her 12-year-old brother's room. She cut her brother's throat, and at that moment the poor boy screamed and alerted the whole household. She cleared the site as per her 23-year-old boyfriend's instructions. Being parents, Laureen and Jeff Sikorsky never abandoned their daughter. They even hired an attorney to represent her. She has been adopted along with 2 siblings from Poland. She was depressed and manipulated by her boyfriend, Mikhail Rivera. He even illegally had a sexual relationship with this teenage girl. Lauren said to this court she is in desperate need of continued psychological help. Her mother even asked the court not to let her go to an adult prison. This would shatter her mind, but the jury anyway sentenced her to jail. Roxana had something to say to her parents in the courtroom. "For not being the daughter they wish I would be, and I promise I will get better no matter what happens." She was all in tears, and let us hope she will come back as a reformed person. Number 5. Jaleel Hoskins. A self-confessed murderer yelled in court after being sentenced to 50 to 100 years. He killed his girlfriend, a mother of 5, and dropped her body in the garbage. Before learning of his fate, Jaleel Hoskins of Grand Rapids, Michigan, apologized to the family of Latrice Mays, whom he murdered, saying he loved her and didn't mean to end her life. What kind of confession is this? When Kent County Circuit Court Judge James Redford convicted him to up to a century in prison, the handcuffed man exploded, throwing the podium towards the bench and lunging forward before being led away from the hearing room by security. The 2 families charged at each other yelling, and extra court deputies had to separate them. As Redford smashed his gavel, Hoskins' devastated mother, who had made a tearful statement to the court earlier, yelled at Hoskins' cousin to shut up. Mays vanished on March 19th. Less than 2 months later, police in Grand Rapids said they believed her body had been burned and disposed of in a landfill. Some speculated that Hoskins' motivation for the slaying was to prevent her from speaking to police after being accused of assaulting the father of 2 of her children. In his piece, Hoskins stated that he loved Mays and had worked hard to support her and her daughter. Number 6. Brandon Spencer. Here you can see Brandon Spencer in the Los Angeles County Superior Court. He was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. The 19-year-old Spencer attended a crowded party on the Los Angeles University of Southern California campus. Suddenly, gunshots went off, and it was mayhem. Everyone scattered, some ran in fear, and others hid. Reportedly, Spencer also ran, but he was stopped in a parking lot half a mile away, where he got picked up by the LAPD for questioning. A couple of days later, he was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. 4 people were injured, but fortunately, no one died. But if you are so intent on killing someone that you're willing to shoot them and at the same time open fire into a crowd, prosecutors argued during the trial. The shooting resulted from a feud between Spencer and a rival gang member. Spencer maintained his innocence throughout the trial, but the jury didn't agree. Nearly 50 family members and friends were packed in the courtroom as the judge read the sentence. Sheriff deputies restrained Spencer as he banged his head on the defense table. Reportedly, Brandon was sentenced to 40 years to life for 4 counts of attempted murder. With that, we are winding up the episode. If you like this video, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You could click the link on the screen to watch more of our videos. We will be back again with more court videos. Till then, goodbye.